Hey, you guys, it's the Bling Gypsy. I just wanted to hop on really quickly. I've been getting tons and tons of questions about how I make my sticky labels with the Paparazzi SKUs on it. So I actually have been doing this for quite a while. I discovered this totally by playing around with my dymo software that I can make the barcodes into QR codes, which are much smaller, and then I could still put the item number slash my bin numbers. So each one of my pieces, I only have one out for display, and then everything else of that piece goes into another room, which where all my bins are. Okay, so um, if you are wanting to know how to use the Paparazzi SKUs into a QR code, this is what you need to do. Okay. Now I use the Dymo 4XL. It does work on the Dymo 450 too, because I have one of those in the other room. However, I just discovered recently from a Papa baby of mine that she bought the 550 and it did not work because the new Dymos actually detect the labels, um, and you have to use the Dymo labels. You can't use an off-brand, okay, which are much more expensive. So just FYI, the 550, it'll work, but you have to buy the Dymo labels, and that's expensive, okay? All right, so I will include the links to everything that I use. I have a scanner, I have my Dymo label, and then I have my labels, which I buy the off-brand ones off of Amazon. Everything I got is off of Amazon. And they are 1/2 inch by 1 7/8 because those are the smallest I could find that would fit all my information and still fit on the back of the jewelry and not cover any of the paparazzi information, which is against compliance, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you how I make these and show you how I tag everything. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And we are going to go into the Dymo software. Okay. And by the way, these barcodes will work on, because we're using the original barcodes, it will work on any of your inventory. So whether you're using Premiere, whether you're using True IMS, which is what I use, and I use Premiere, or if you're on Shopify, it doesn't matter because this is the actual original SKU from Paparazzi. It just looks different. Okay. All right. So this is what we're trying to accomplish right here. Okay. The labels are, like I said, 1/2 inch by 1 7/8. And I'll show you the finished product when we're done. You can see here, I started putting the price because I'm doing a lot of vendor events. And even though you say 50 times a day, everything's $5, they don't really listen. Or they can't believe that the necklace with the earrings is $5. So I started putting $5 on all of my stuff now. I didn't used to. The first set of numbers is the item number. So every piece I get, I give it a item number. Okay. So like this necklace is number 990. If it comes in a different color, then it's, and I get one, 991, 992. So you can start wherever you want. I would suggest to start at 100 or 1,000, just because you want at least 3 digits, and then just keep going up a number from there. So once that item sells out, when 990 is gone, I can technically reuse that number, but with True IMS, it gives it a new number. It just keeps going up by 1 digit. So I don't need to. But however, once that item is sold out, I used to reuse my numbers, but ever since I've been on True IMS, I do not reuse the numbers anymore because it auto generates numbers. But if you're on Premiere and you want to reuse it, that's fine. You just have to keep track of what numbers have been used and what number are no longer in use. I used to use a ticket system to do that, but I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so I'm going to open up. The second set of numbers is my bin number. So I have more than one of this 990 item. So the rest of it is in bin 1412. So when I go to fulfill an order, I know that it's going to be in 1412 until I get down to my last piece that's on display. Once I do, I'll scratch this 1412 off on the ticket. That way I know that it's a one and done, okay? All right, and then this right here, this QR code is actually the Paparazzi barcode that I've converted to a QR code, okay? Now, when you're creating these, you have to be really, really careful. Make one, test it, make sure it works before you go crazy making all these labels and then they don't scan, okay? So test, and retest. That's an advice I'm gonna give you, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, this is my label, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a new one just so I can show you how it works. Okay, so I'm currently using the 4XL. Like I said, it does work on the 450 as well. So whatever dymo label printer you decide to get, that's fine. You can get them off of Amazon. I, however, bought mine used secondhand and saved me about $100. So most people get these and they don't use them very much. So if you get lucky, you can get a good one that's like practically brand new. I bought both of mine used. All right, so you want to make sure you're using label number 30346, or you can look for the LW ½ inch by 1 7/8. Okay, you want it to be landscape. You can do vertical if you want. I do the landscape. Double click on it, and it's going to bring it up. Now you can see it's really, really small. If you use the slider right here, okay, then you can go ahead and, okay, I want to make sure I was sharing my screen. You can go ahead and use this slider and make it much bigger so you can actually see what the heck you're doing, right? All right, so first thing you're going to do is the numbers, okay? So like for mine, I do $5. You don't have to put the price if you don't want. And then I'll do, like, let's say it's number 1212, item number 1212, and it's in bin 1340, okay? And then I will bring this, use the corners, okay? Bring it all the way as far as you can to the left or wherever you want to put it. And then bring this other corner all the way to the other side. Okay, so that's as far as it'll let you go. And if you notice, when you're stretching this out, see how it puts that green line? That's your center point, okay, across there. So that's what you need to measure by. But I just stretch it out as much as I can. Make sure that it is on auto fit, okay? And I always bold mine. And I always center it as well. So you want to do auto, make sure auto fits on, bold, and then center, okay? And you also want it in the middle, not on the top, not towards the bottom. All right, so once you get that done, you can change the font to whatever you like. I'm just going to leave it for demonstration purposes. Now, if you stretch this out this way, okay, see that green line that just appeared the other way? That's telling you that's the center, the vertical center of that label, okay? So that's kind of where you want to be. You don't want to go past that half. I would even go back just a hair or two, okay? And you'll see why when we do the rings. So that side's done. Now we're going to do add up here on the top left. There's file, edit, add right by the dymo symbol. And you're going to do QR code. Okay, you're going to select QR code. Now you're going to bring this corner, this top right corner, all the way. Oops, I'm going to grab the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. All the way to the right as far as you can. Okay, and then you want to stretch it all the way to the top and bottom as far as you can go. Okay, the bigger, the better. All right, so that's as far as I go. Let's see where there's the center. So you want to go back a little bit. Remember, we talked about that, especially for the rings. Now, with the QR codes, if they are not a certain size, if you don't stretch it out all the way, you can leave it a little bit off the edges. But if you don't stretch it out as far as you can, I noticed they do not scan. Okay. All right, so we are pretty much ready. Yeah, this one won't go any more to the left. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to print this. But we need a barcode. So if you grab any piece of jewelry, the Paparazzi packages have the barcodes on it, okay? Now you want to make sure when your barcode is highlighted that it says text, okay? You don't want it to say phone, email, SMS, V-card, web page. You want to make sure it says text, okay? And then you're going to highlight where it says 1, 2, 3, because that's what's in that QR code right there. And you're going to scan the Paparazzi barcode, okay? So I don't have a package, but I have a piece of jewelry. Now, see when I scanned it, it now put the Paparazzi barcode right there for me. Okay, so it could be the same if it was a package, but you'll notice, and you got to be careful with this, because if you leave this extra space, see how it put the barcode and then the cursor is now down here, you just want to back it one space if it does that. Okay, you want to make sure there's no spaces, because my TrueIMS will still scan it, but Premier does not scan it unless it is exact, okay? So you want to make sure there's no spaces, nothing funky going on. It's just the barcode, okay? So once you do that, make sure you save it, okay? So you would hit save and then just name it, inventory label. I already have mine, so I'm not going to save it. And then you just hit print. Make sure you have the correct labels in there, because I use mine for shipping as well. So I use the 4x6 labels, because this is the 4XL. It'll take the 4x6 labels for shipping, okay? And then I use the 1/2 inch by 1 7/8 for the labels. So now if I hit print, it's going to print this label, okay? It's going to print that label right there. You can see we got the $5. We got the item number dash the bin number, okay? And then this QR code is actually the Paparazzi barcode. Now, if you look, it's really, really close to the bottom, okay? Just because of the way this off-brand label is. You can raise it up just a hair. Take that bottom left corner, actually, and raise it up just a hair, okay? And now let me reprint it. And it should bring it, yeah, there we go, perfect. Now, you want to take this label and you want to make sure that it scans in your Premier, in your Shopify, whatever it is you're using. You want to make sure that this works and then resave it, okay? Now, here's how I label everything. I'm going to shrink this down and get this out of here. Okay, so here's how I label everything. So for the earrings, okay, right there on the bottom, there's no writing, there's nothing, it's perfect. Now I did put a 3 because I was entering them to Premier, so I hand wrote how many I had. I went to my TrueIMS and scanned it and figured out how many I had, so I didn't have to physically count them. I did put a 3 on there, but normally there's nothing there. And then you see there's the item number 1520, and then 1089 is my bin number. And then this is actually the Paparazzi barcode. So I can use this and scan it into Shopify. I don't have Shopify, but if I was on Shopify, I would scan it in there. If I was on TrueIMS, it'll work. It'll work in any website. It even works if you're like on another Papa Sisters website and they have the barcodes in their system, it would work, okay? I'm watching the live. Hey, Angie. All right, so this will work on anything because it's actually the Paparazzi SKU. So earrings, I put them there. Now the clip-ons are a little tricky because some of them, the holes are a little low. So what I'll do is I'll split it and I'll put 1/2 here and the other half here. Okay, some of them are high enough, some of them aren't for it to fit. All right, now the other one is the bracelet. Now with bracelets, we have the bigger bracelet holders. They're actually fit right on top of the writing. Okay, so you're not covering up any of this because that's against compliance. They fit right there. And then for the smaller bracelet ones and the necklace ones, just put it on the bottom, right underneath there, and you just kind of tuck the edges in, okay? So you can still fit it on the necklace or the smaller bracelet holders. For these and the cuffs, it'll fit right on the top there, or you can even fit it on the bottom here sometimes, but it's really, really close to the writing and it sticks out just a little bit. So either way works. I've done it both ways. And then the rings. Now, the rings are an ongoing process. I've been changing my rings 1,000 times, but this is the latest. I started using the Paparazzi sponges, okay, that it comes in. And I will stick these, we used to call these at Walmart do-its. They're package hangers, basically. I'll include the link in the Amazon. I've tried a couple different sizes. This is the one I like the best. It's smallest, it fits better. And I just stick these on the back of here. However, because it's spongy, it doesn't stick very well, especially if the rings are heavy. So I just put a little tiny bit of hot glue and then put it on. Okay, let it dry and then put my ring in. Now, what I do is I use these 1-inch rings. Okay, these are binder rings, and I'll include the link. They open and lock, so they're reusable. I like reusable stuff. I don't like wasting stuff. Okay, and I will put it through the back and into the ring and out the front, because when I'm at a vendor event, one, they can take it off and try it on, and it's still attached to the sponge, okay? And two, they're not falling all over the floor, or they're switching packaging or whatever, and I have to pick up, 50 rings a night. So this is the best way that I found to hold it. Now, I used to put the labels back here, but I can only put the number, not the barcode. So then I decided to take that same label and I fold it in half. So that's why I said keep it away from the middle, because you want your barcode or your QR code on one side, and then you want your price and your item number and bin number on the other side. So you can do the rings however you want. I previously used to use these 1/2-inch binder rings, which fit the ring better, but I found the labels are kind of hard to fold over because they're so small. And I wanted to display them this way so that they're easy to shop. Okay. So if you look at my wall over here, that's my ring. Oh, right, it's the wrong side. That's my ring wall. So when a customer comes in here, they can look at all the rings without having to flip them over and look at them, okay? So they're very easy to shop, very easy for me to run over there and find. If I'm doing a set and they say, do you have a ring to go with that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I can see them. I'm a visual person, so I can visually see all my rings without having to dig through a basket or the rings usually flip over when they're on a peg. So that is how I do it. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me and let me see if I can help you figure out how to do your labels. Now, a lot of you have Rolos and other printers. I don't know anything about those, unfortunately. From what I understand is, I don't know if they make labels small enough, and I don't know if it gives you the option to add QR codes either. So if somebody has a Rolo and you want to leave a comment in here, whether it can be done or not, I would appreciate it. And I hope this was helpful, you guys. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, Angie.